Hey, good morning. Come on in. It's Morning Drive here for an hour, then a special 2-hour encore presentation of the event you just watched on Golf Channel, the Omega Dubai Desert Classic. And then we are back for another hour at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Robert Dameron, Paige McKenzie, Whit Watson, and a big afternoon of television. I heard there's a football game going on this afternoon.
There might be a basketball game too, but I think most people will be watching the football game.
What are your viewing plans? How are you going to work this out?
You know, I already went grocery shopping because I do not anticipate leaving my couch or my house for the rest of the day.
Now, do you have a dog in this fight, or are you just watching the game for the commercials?
I am watching for the commercials.
Fair enough. Robert?
I know the snacks in her house are gluten-free, so you and I do not want to go over there and eat any of her snacks.
We have a full roster today, covered in studio and in Scottsdale. Chantel McCabe, Charlie Reimer up early in Arizona. Chantel, we'll send it to you.
Thank you. From the studio, Charlie, it's the final day, and what a Sunday for sports.
Yeah, going to be a really cool day. The Falcons are going to come out on top. My man, Matt Ryan. I'm a long-time Falcons fan.
And I'm a Patriots fan, so we're going to have issues.
Yeah, we've got issues anyway. But, you know, before we get to that, we're going to have a great golf tournament here.
Yes.
And, you know, yesterday is the day where the most folks came out.
And record crowd attendance. For a Saturday, it was unbelievable. The atmosphere was amplified even more. The 16th hole was rocking and rolling, and really the back nine, everybody was coming out to see it.
And today they'll probably actually pay a little closer attention to the golf than the partying that they were doing out here. But it's a little bit different feel on Sundays at the Phoenix Open on Sunday than it is on Saturday. The numbers might not quite be the same, but the focus will definitely be on the golf. We're going to crown a winner here, and this is a heck of a golf tournament to win. Very exciting for the players. They by and large love this stage, getting a chance to perform in front of a live audience as large as we have here.
Yes, and that's not to take away from the golf that's happening of why there are a few less people here, but everybody's got to get ready, get their place, and get their food prepared for a game that's happening after we crown a champion here.
But they've been going hard since we got here. I remember I played in the Pro-Am on Wednesday. Was there 75,000 people that came out for the Pro-Am on Wednesday? Are you kidding me? They're starting to slow down a little bit, the fans are. But the golf is going to continue on this great pace. We've had the same exact conditions every day. This golf course is in perfect shape. I think we're going to see a lot of offense today on the Super Bowl Sunday.
And that's what you wanted, and that will be what my Patriots are doing tonight, Charlie.
But just not enough.
Your team.
Love that. I'm going for the Patriots too. Chantel, I'm with you. Let's see if they can get another Super Bowl win. But glad to have all of you with us on this massive day in sports. Let's get you caught up with your top stories. And after a third round 65, Ben An holds on to a one-shot lead at 16 under par over Martin Laird in the Waste Management Phoenix Open. The 25-year-old South Korean, who back in 2009 became the youngest U.S. amateur champion at the age of 17, now holds his first ever 54-hole lead in a PGA Tour event in his 32nd career start on the circuit. And while An is making his debut at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, Phil Mickelson is making his 28th start in the tournament and is now 6 shots off the pace headed into today's final round. The 5-time major champ, his Saturday 65, has him tied for 12th place alongside Daniel Berger, Shane Lowry, Louis Oosthuizen, and Webb Simpson. Now to the Middle East in the Omega Dubai Desert Classic, where Sergio Garcia was crowned your winner moments ago, 2017, at the Emirates Golf Club, earning his 12th career European Tour win. So for more on that event, we send it back to Whit Watson.
Lauren, thank you indeed. One of the flagship events on the European Tour, the Emirates Golf Club and the Omega Dubai Desert Classic. And a pretty thick leaderboard as they began the final round earlier this morning. As LT mentioned, you just saw it on Golf Channel a few minutes ago. Sergio led by 3 entering this final round. This is approach on his opening hole.
And this championship has produced a lot of great champions over the years, and we had quite the battle coming down the stretch with big hitters like Sergio Garcia.
And Henrik Stenson, one of those guys trying to give chase. Sergio made that putt, 4 shots clear of the lead. Stenson second. He's in the rough on the par 4 6th.
You have to loft it up over that tree. I said yesterday, you know, maybe the 2 best iron players in the world, Sergio and Stenson, going at it. This is just another good iron shot from Stenson. We're getting a little tired of seeing those.
Made that for birdie, gets back within 3 of Sergio, but Garcia was not backing off, putting for par, trying to stay up by 3 at the 8th.
He was probably tired of seeing Henrik Stenson continue to chase,
Yes.
so he answered on his own with that par putt to stay up by 3.
Maintains that advantage over Stenson, trying to get back up to a 4-shot lead. He had a birdie putt on the par 4 ninth. Players raving about the conditions this week in Dubai. And that is a pretty true roll. Back up to a 4-shot lead at 18 under par.
Are we thinking maybe major season for Sergio?
He looked awfully good this week.
He looked rock solid,
good.
tee to green, putting, chipping, the whole thing.
This guy's going to be up there a few majors this year as well. Stenson birdie on a par 5 10th.
Yeah, when this club gets going, actually for both Stenson and Sergio, they are extremely hard to beat.
Again, the margin was 3. These guys going toe-to-toe. 15 under now. Stenson, a chance to get within 2 at the 14th.
And he's running out of holes, so knows that he needs to take advantage. When you get opportunities like this, walking it in.
Within 2 shots of Garcia. So Sergio up by 2, tee shot, par 3, 15th. Stenson has already airmailed the green, and Sergio answers with this.
It was just Sergio's week, I believe. I mean, he just, like we said, there was nothing wrong. There was nothing that looked like, oh, he might slip up coming down the stretch, and geez, anyone can make that putt.
Yeah, that was all she wrote. That was the dreaded 2-shot swing, birdie, bogey, and that was plenty. Tap in par at the 18th, and Sergio Garcia, who, get this, had never had a top 10 at this event in 7 previous trips, wins it.
That's
the
hard to
7th
believe.
event. It is hard to believe, isn't it? With a 69 on the final day, Stenson, the margin finally was 3. Peter Uihlein, the top American, at 12 under par. But this brings up a conversation that I think is going to continue until the Masters, until major season begins, and that is Sergio Garcia. Is it finally going to be his year for one of the big 4 Grand Slam events?
I think it boils down to his patience. He's getting older, and he's heard the chirping for years. Are you going to win the big one? Can you win the big one? He did win the Players. In my mind, that's at least 3/4 of a major. That's pretty good. He's got it. Is he just going to be patient enough and not push and not get upset?
Well, what's interesting now at this point in his career is he's not the young gun. There's plenty of other players that are going to have the heat on them, the pressure on them, the press, the fans, all questioning their ability to win a major. And Sergio might be able to just hang back and just play his own game without having to answer those questions leading into major championships.
You mentioned the possibility of these 2 guys that we saw coming down the stretch might be the 2 best players in the world right now. Stenson certainly has as much form as anybody in the game today.
Absolutely. And Stenson did last season what we're saying Sergio may do this season, which was you haven't won the big one, and then he didn't just win one, he blew the field out, he and Phil, the Open Championship. So wouldn't shock anyone, I don't think, to see Sergio step up and win a major.
Especially getting a win this early in the season. You can really build on it when you're talking about early February, getting a win under the belt and knowing that you've got a whole season ahead of you to build off of that.
All right, so let's watch and learn. We're going to send you guys off. Off you go to the practice area.
We are happy to do so because not only did Sergio, play well and win, we have a lot of other opportunities to learn from the guys in the field. So we're going to start with George Coetzee. Found himself in a little bit of trouble here, Robert.
There are other good players in the field, sure.
Of course.
Coetzee lost his drive to the right. He's got this little overhanging branch. He's got to hit a big slice. You can see he's choked up on it. Here's how you hit that big slice. You open the club face up, you point the club face where you want the ball to start, and then you swing across your line just like this. Watch how low he finishes when he hits it. Low and left, and he really sliced hard across it, and you can tell how much it's slicing because when it hits the green, it kicks to the right a little bit, runs more right. Great shot. He got himself out of trouble.
That was a beautiful recovery, and he must not have been driving the ball that well because he found himself on the very next hole in one of these bushes. And what I want you to pay attention to is his rehearsal shot swings throughout. One of the rules, of course, in the rules of golf is that if you are rehearsing and you are to knock a leaf or a branch off, it would be a penalty. So go ahead and roll this and watch just how careful he is as he's going back, trying to make sure that he's not disturbing the branches around him, and also took the smart play. He could have tried to take relief somewhere 2 club lengths, or he could have tried to manufacture something that was much too hard for that lie, but was able to get it back into play.
I like that, and go back to simplicity. If you hit it in trouble, just get it out of trouble. Then go from there. Don't try to bite off a little too much and turn a bogey into a triple. And
we agree on a lot of things, but one of the things that we do not agree on is if you find yourself in a waste bunker, what do you do with the club? Do you hover it? Go ahead and roll this. You'll see Ian Poulter hovers it. He does not ground the club. It is perfectly legal in a waste bunker to do this.
Paige hovers it. I like to ground it, and I will tell you why. I think if we roll it, Poulter hovers it too, but it's within the rules, just like on a tee box, it's within the rules to put a tee in the ground and set the ball on top of it. It's within the rules to ground your club, which, does that improve your life? Yes, it does. But
it's within the rules. I get it.
I'm not cheating by doing it, so I think you have to take advantage of the rules when they present themselves to you. There's enough rules that I don't like that take advantage of me. I might as well take advantage of them with it.
Oh, I love it. So moving on to Henrik Stenson, the runner-up. This shot you must have in your golf bag no matter what handicap you are. I absolutely love it, hitting a hybrid or a wood out of the rough. Look how far he grips down on this club.
Yeah, he's almost to the shaft.
That is to control the club face and to be able to control how it reacts in that turf. That turf's going to want to, the grass is going to want to turn that club face over. If you grip down on it, you'll have much more control. Go ahead and roll this and then watch how he executes the shot. It's almost a punch through the rough.
A chop.
Just to get it on the ground, trundling forward, and of course,
he threw a bunker in and out. But you can't control that shot fully. It's more controlled chaos, really.
Is.
I mean, but he did have the shot, and he can hit it up around there and accept where it goes. It almost got up on the green. It shouldn't have.
It's still a great shot, and you should have it in your bag. You, of course, can watch this coverage after we finish up on Morning Drive. But let's find out what we're doing on Morning Drive today. Lauren?
Thank you, Paige. Yeah, it's definitely worth an encore, so you want to stick around with us for that Morning Drive with you this hour, 2-hour encore of the Omega Dubai Desert Classic, and then we are back with you live for another hour at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. But first, let's move into the tee sheet. And yeah, it's a scene like no other. It probably already has you figuring out your plans to be there yourself next year. We're going to bring you a recap of the top moments, both good and bad, from Saturday at the Stadium Course's 16th hole at TPC Scottsdale. And it's the group with an 80-year history that continues to serve the community and the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Today, Matt Janelle is going to introduce you to the Thunderbirds, as well as the most decorated member. Find out how he earned that title and how their story continues to evolve. Then Phil Mickelson, he offered up another pretty spectacular moment yesterday, basically from a dirt path. Wait until we bring you this watch and learn lesson from his second shot on the 9th hole that left many who are ultra familiar with the course wondering where exactly he was. Someone else is getting more and more familiar with the course by the day. It's our travel insider, Matt Janella. Let's check in with him now and say good morning. Hey, Matt.
Good morning, LT, and good morning to you. I just caught up with the lead superintendent here at the Stadium Course, Josh Minson, who told me there are 86 members of his crew out here every morning getting this course prepared. That includes 34 volunteers from 17 different countries, as far as Slovenia, Peru, and Brazil. He said they started this program about 5 years ago. They only had 5 volunteers the first year. They start accepting applications on June 15th. This course will reopen on Tuesday. He's very excited to his course pack. He told me, quote, "I can't wait to put a little water on it." More Morning Drive right after the break.